guys, John Soda here, back again doing another movie review, and today we'll be reviewing The Wolverine. Now, The Wolverine is directed by James Mangold and features Hugh Jackman, Rila Fukushima, Teo Okamoto. A lot of these people are Chinese, so it is very hard to pronounce their names. Svetlana Kuodkankova, Will Yunli, Hiroyuki Sanada, Brian T, Hal Yamanachi, Ken Yamamura, and Famke Janssen. Shit, I feel like I was doing a mission right there. So, the plot of The Wolverine is that we start off with Logan right after the events of X-Men The Last Stand, but like a few years later, actually. I think like a few years later, and then we follow with him, and what happens is that since the events of X-Men The Last Stand, okay, this review will contain some spoilers for X-Men The Last Stand if you haven't seen it. So in X-Men The Last Stand, in the ending, he killed Jean Grey. He had to kill Jean Grey himself because she was too evil, and she was killing a lot of people instantly, like Thanos. So, yeah, exactly like Thanos. Like, they would vanish and turn into dust. So, yeah. So, he had to kill her because like, Dark Phoenix really corrupted her. So, yeah. And since then, he's been really traumatized about that because Jean Grey was his true love. So, yeah. And so, he's just been really traumatized by that. And he's been, like, living in this cave in the woods. And he's just been living there. And he's just been, like, really hurting. And he's been wanting to die. Like, he's really been wanting to die because of how much he's hurting. So, yeah. And he even, like, has a completely different look, too, of longer hair and a full beard. So, yeah. And then, what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, and then, like, so once he's in there, he gets contacted by this Japanese girl named Yukio. So, yeah. And Yukio, tells her to, Yukio like tells Logan to go back to Japan because like during World War II in Japan, like it was like during the time that they would bomb Japan and all of that. And yeah, in World War II they sent the atomic bomb in Japan. And then like there was this man named what was his name? Okay, so his name was Yoshida. Yeah, his name was Yoshida. And by the way, I had to write that down because, like, most of these Japanese people, I can't even remember their names. So, yeah, but a little bit of them I could remember, like, the girls, like, two of the girls. So, yeah. And, well, what was his, so, in World War II, there was this Japanese man named Yoshida, and, like, the atomic bomb was going to Japan, and, like, Yoshida was a soldier in World War II, and, like, all the soldiers were just stabbing themselves so they won't feel when the atomic bomb goes in them. But Logan was hiding in this like underground place, like this underground well. And then like yeah, he's hiding there so like he won't feel the pain. So yeah, but like Yoshida like runs into that well and finds Logan there, and Logan's just like, come down here, it's a lot safer here, make it quick. But like he just closes it. And then like he was going to do the same thing that the other Japan soldiers were doing, with just stabbing themselves so they can not feel the pain. He was about to do it, but he was really scared. He almost does it, but then Logan stops him, and he's like, no, please, come with me. And then he takes him down the well, but, like, there's not enough time, so they just leave the well door open. But he's telling Yoshida, like, get down. And he's, like, using this metal thing to protect him. So the fire won't go on him. And then once that happens, once it all ends, all the fire went on Logan, and he was really burning, and then he heals. And then Yoshida is really shocked seeing a burned man heal. And then from there he was just really shocked. So yeah, and then from there, when they were staying in the well, he thanks him a lot. Like he thanks him like, thank you for saving my life and all of that. And they just become a little bit of friends under the well until it's time, until all the Nazis are gone and all of that. So yeah, and so since then Yoshida has really liked Logan, and yeah, and was really inspired by him too. So yeah. And then in present day, Yoshida is getting old and he's dying. So Yeah, but like what Yoshida wants, Yoshida wants Logan to come over to just say a quick goodbye, but that's actually not all of it. Yoshida wanted Logan's power, like he wanted like Logan's full power, because he knows that there could be a way that he could transfer Logan's power to other people, including himself, so they could heal themselves. He wants his power, but as soon as he takes his power away from him, it'll take all of Logan's healing powers will be gone, and then so yeah. But like Yoshida knows that Logan wants to die, that he really wants to die. So yeah, he knows that he wants death. So yeah, so he's just like, let me help you out. Let me take your adamantium and all of that. So yeah, he's just telling him to take his adamantium. So yeah, and from there, Logan refuses, and he's just like, no, I can't do this. And then from there, the people in Japan, the girls like give him a shave and give him a cleaning. So yeah, and then after that, Logan just stays overnight, and while he's sleeping, he finds out that Yoshida has died. Like he has died from getting old. So yeah, and then after that, some serious shit starts happening. Like Yoshida has a son, and his son is kind of evil. He's one of the main villains of this movie. So yeah, and like his son was named Shingen. Yeah, his son was named Shingen, and Shingen also had a daughter too, named Mariko. Now Mariko, she really hates her life. Like she hates her life with her father, because her father is like really evil, and like yeah, and she wants to do good. She does not want to be in his evil like him. And whenever she refuses, he always just slaps her. So yeah, and Logan sees all of this, and Logan like kind of like likes Mariko. Like he has a little crush on Mariko, so Mariko will be his next love. So yeah, that's what he wants. And so yeah, so Mariko's life is like really really hard. So yeah, and then after Yoshida dies, it is implied that she was the one to have to take care of Yoshida's company, because Yoshida had this like big like science company, and Yoshida wanted her to take over the company. So yeah, but like Shingen wants to take over the company, actually. Like he wants to take it over. So yeah. So yeah, and what else is there? So yeah, and then like once Yoshida dies and they're at his funeral, a bunch of Japanese men attack Logan, and they try to kill I think they try to kill Mariko, that's her name, Mariko, not Maroki. Mariko, they try to kill her, but then Logan takes her, and he's trying to protect her, and then like he just takes her, and like he's just trying to protect her, and that's what he does throughout the whole movie. So yeah, and then once he's with her, he starts falling in love with her, but he's mostly just trying to defend her. He's trying to be the hero that he used to be. So yeah, and then from there we have another villain named Viper. Viper is kind of trying to do the same thing too. Viper is trying to like complete Yoshida's dream. Like she's trying to complete Yoshida's dream and try to take Logan's power, so they can heal others, and the company will be even bigger. So yeah, and then yeah, that's what Viper is trying to do. And yeah, and Viper is actually a mutant herself. She's poisonous. She's kind of like Marvel's take on Poison Ivy. Whenever she kisses someone, she kills them, and she can breathe poison and have them like experience poison. So yeah, and they could die like that, and like just anything from her mouth will be poisoned. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else? Yeah, and Viper has an assistant named Ken Ken Kenichio. Yeah, his name is Kenichio, and Kenichio was actually Kenichio grew up with Mariko for all his life, since he was a kid, and like he's always loved her. Like he's always wanted her to be his wife. And yeah, and like they've been dating since they were kids, and they wanted to get married. So yeah, let me think. But like Mariko doesn't really want that, because like Mariko just like thinks if she does this, she's just being forced to get married. But Kanikyo really wants that. So yeah, and he even thinks they're meant to be. So yeah, so yeah, and so like he works with Viper so to help bring Mariko and so he can save her too from Shingen's men. So yeah, let me sing. Yeah, he just really loves Mariko. So yeah, but like Logan is trying to protect her from all of this. So yeah. That's basically the whole plot of the Wolverine. Now, do I like the Wolverine? Yes, I love the Wolverine. I actually really, really love this movie a lot. This movie is one of the, in my opinion, the stronger X-Men movies, actually. One of the more stronger ones. So, yeah, this movie's pretty polarizing, but nowhere near as polarizing as The Last Jedi and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So, yeah, but this movie does have a lot of polarization to it. Like, a lot of people think this movie's bad, like this movie's boring, the whole China setting wasn't really necessary. No, I actually don't think that at all. I think the setting of Japan was actually really, really necessary, actually. It was really dark and really gave in so much emotion, gave it so much drama, and really made this movie a whole lot better, was the Japan setting. So yeah, the setting was really cool, and it was really beautiful, and all the places they went to looked so real. So yeah, Japan was a really necessary setting. I love this the setting of Japan. It was really drove you into the movie, and at times the setting actually felt kind of real at times. So yeah, I think this setting, it was probably the greatest setting ever in an X-Men movie, actually. So yeah, and I actually this is actually probably my favorite scenery ever in the X-Men universe. So yeah, I actually do prefer this setting just a smidge more than Logan's setting. So yeah, but I actually do really love the setting of Japan. So yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else? So yeah, this movie was really badass. Like, this movie's so badass. It has so many cool moments. This movie is really action-packed, and it actually is pretty bloody too. It's actually really bloody for a PG-13 movie, actually. This movie's PG-13, but a lot of it doesn't really seem PG-13, actually, because when Logan like stabs people, like blood comes out of them, and it's just like, we're watching a PG-13 movie? Yeah, and then, like, there's even this one scene where, like, Yukio is, like, killing all these Japanese men in like, this, kind of wood chipper, and then, like, once she kills them, like, you see so much blood come out of the machine. So, yeah, this movie's a little too bloody for a PG-13, and that's actually really cool. So, yeah. This movie should have, I think maybe what would have made this movie a little better was R rating, but I think the PG-13 rating was still really cool, too. So, yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else about the Wolverine I should say? All the characters in this movie are really cool, actually. Like, you can really buy into a lot of these characters. Logan and Mariko were actually Logan and Mariko were actually the greater characters of this movie. They're actually the most emotional characters to this movie, actually. So, yeah, they had the strongest character beats, they had the strongest character arcs. So yeah, they were really emotional. So I think that them two were actually my favorites, actually, and they were actually the main focus. So yeah, that's what really made this movie cool, was the most interesting people were actually the main focus. So yeah, I don't know if I like Logan or Mariko better. I think I might like Logan a little better than Mariko, but Mariko was also a really good character. So yeah. So we get to Logan. Logan was actually really cool in this movie. It was really cool seeing a solo movie about him. And this is actually like, feels like his own movie, actually. Actually really feels like his own movie. Like, his standalone movie. So yeah, there's no other mutants in this movie, actually. Like, this really feels like his own movie, actually. Like, there's no other superheroes from the other movies in this movie, actually. He's actually he's actually the only mutant in this movie, well, besides for Viper, but he's actually like the only mutant hero in this movie, actually, and that was really cool to see. So yeah, so this really feels like his own movie. So yeah, and that was really cool how we just got to see a standalone movie for him, a legit good standalone movie from him. So yeah, and it was amazing. So yeah, Logan was really cool in this movie. He was such a badass, literally. All the scenes with him are just really emotional. Just he in this movie, he has a lot of like nightmares about Jean, like, because he's been really dramatized about it, and all those dream sequences are give you really emotional. So yeah, those all those scenes just get you really invested. So yeah, just to know that he's really struggling with what he did in Last Stand. So yeah, and that was really cool. So yeah, is there anything else I should say about Logan? There's more to say about Logan too. Like, you can really tell he really has a lot of character beats with a lot of these people. And I really, really love his love relationship with Mariko. He had a really, really strong love relationship with Mariko, and so yeah, their love relationship was just really, really cute and really cool. And they definitely gave so much chemistry with each other, and you can just really buy their relationship so much. So yeah, and it was very necessary to have their relationship be in this movie, like miles necessary to have a relationship between them necessary. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else? Yeah, you can really tell he really wants to be the hero again. He wants to feel like the hero again. So yeah. Let me think. So yeah, you can tell he wants to be the hero again, and he wants to defend Mariko. So yeah, and so yeah, you can really tell he does not want anything bad to happen to Mariko at all, and he does not want all these bad things to happen in Japan. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else about Logan? Yeah, and he has a really strong emotion with Yoshida too in the beginning, and that was really cool. So yeah, and he had a really, really strong emotion with Yukio too. So yeah, I really liked their friend relationship a lot. His friend relationship with Yukio, that was really cool too. So yeah, and so let me think. Is there anything else? And also in this movie, this was a really emotional thing for Logan too. Was that while he was sleeping during the night that Yoshida died, Viper put something in his heart to make him die, like to make him be able to feel the pain that he feels when he's getting cut or when he's getting shot. Like, he actually feels the pain, and he can't heal. Like, he can't heal at all because of the thing in his heart. Like, whenever they shoot him, it really, really, really hurts him, and he can't heal at all. And like, it's his first time discovering this pain. So yeah, and he can kind of die. He can. I think no. I think yeah, he can actually die with that too. So yeah, so that was really cool seeing that he can actually die with like normally. So yeah, but like, and he's getting tortured a lot throughout this whole movie. So yeah, that was really cool. So yeah, okay, the lighting feels a bit dark. Give me a second. Okay, that's better. Let me think. What was I saying? Yeah, Logan, like, all the scenes with him, like, him getting hurt was just really emotional. So yeah, and you can really, like, this movie, like, really shows you his pain. Like, when he feels it, like, he starts hearing ringing all around him, and he can't hear that much, and that was a really cool touch too. So yeah, Logan, like, all the scenes with him in action are just so badass. Just him slicing and dicing and just stabbing all these Japanese men were just really cool. And I love that the scene in the train, like, he fights all these Japanese people in a train, and it is really cool. He's at first fighting them inside of it, but then it moves to the outside on top of it. And so yeah, that scene was amazing. I love that scene so much. The scene in the train is just really, really badass, and it just really gets you hooked to the movie once you see that train scene. So yeah, let me sing. So Logan was such a badass in this movie. So yeah, and then we get to Mariko. Mariko was a really cool character too. She had a lot of fear in her, actually, and she actually, like, was the one to give Logan more emotion, actually, to see Logan more of himself, actually, to see his full self. And that was really cool, because like, Mariko is always telling Logan these stories about when Yoshida was with him, and he felt like that was actually his hero. And then there was this other thing called the Karutsu or something like that. This Karuka, I think. I don't know what it was called, but it was something with the K, and she was like, it means monster. It means animal that is vicious and fearless. It is not afraid of anything. he that's how he would describe you. And I remember when I was a child and I would have nightmares, I would always ask to sleep with grandfather, and he would just be like, just sleep and face your fears. Don't worry, Nishida. I think it was Nishida actually. We didn't start with the K. I think it started with an N. Nishida will be with you. So yeah, and that was really cool. How like she would think about him all the time too. So yeah, she actually helped him get through his childhood. So to get her through her childhood. So yeah, and that was really cool how she showed Logan more of his true self. So yeah, but like Logan's just like he's dead along with Jean. So yeah, that was really cool how he's not believing in himself, but he's here. He's like constantly thinking about the stories, and he's just like maybe it is me. So yeah, he definitely had a lot of character. I think this was the most character with someone else. I think this was the most relationship he ever felt with any of the people, even the X-Men in the original trilogy. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else? Yeah, Mariko, you can really tell she wants to, you can really tell that she's really being endangered by all these men and that she doesn't want to die and she's really scared of dying. So yeah, and you can really tell like a lot of her past life. Her past life was Shingen, her father. She did not like it that much, and yeah, and her father was always so hard on her. So yeah, and then like she's really scared of taking over the company because Yoshida is giving it to her as soon as he dies, but she is really scared of that. Like she's really scared of that, and you can really so tell her fear. So yeah, and then let me see. Is there anything else? Yeah, you can really tell her fear. Like she was probably like I said, she had the strongest emotion. Same as with Logan. Like them two had the strongest emotion in this movie. So yeah, and then let me see. Is there anything else I was gonna say? Yeah. You can really tell that like she does not want anything bad to happen to Logan either. Like when Logan's protecting her, she does not want anything bad to happen to him either. So yeah, and you can like so buy, and she you can so buy the relationship a lot, like I said, and you can, and like she was really good with fighting too. Like she knows a lot with knifing, and she's really good with that. And all the scenes with her in action were just really cool. So yeah. Let me think. Yeah, she was really sweet with Logan too. So yeah, that was cool too. So let me think. Is there anything else about Mariko? Yeah, she was just a really cool thing for the plot too. So yeah. Yeah. So like their love relationship was probably was really strong. So yeah, I don't know if it's I think it's a little bit just a smidge more stronger than his relationship with Jean Grey. Just a smidge. So but yeah. It was cool to see him actually fall in love with her. Besides, having him struggle with the girl he likes already having a boyfriend. So yeah. Oh wait, no, the girl already did have a boyfriend, but she didn't love him at all. But in the original one, Jean loved Cyclops a lot, but like Jean doesn't even love Kenikio at all. So yeah. Let me see. Is there anything else I should say? What was I saying? So yeah, that was really cool. So yeah, Mariko was a really cool character, and then we get to what was her name? Yukio. Yeah, Yukio was a really cool character too. Yukio she was more of like a friend to Logan. So yeah, that was really cool, and she was really cool too in this movie. Like all the scenes with her fighting were really badass. So yeah, she can really know how to fight. So yeah, just all the scenes with her using a stick and all that were just really cool. So yeah, let me think. Is there anything else? Yeah, Yukio was kind of an adopted sister. Well, she was Mariko's sister, but not really. She was adopted. She was adopted because like when she was like really young, her parents died right in front of her in the back seat of her car. So yeah, but like yeah, she also has she has powers. She's sort of a mutant too. She has powers to see like how people are gonna die. Like she can actually like vision how people are gonna die. So yeah, and she visioned that right when she was like 5 years old of her parents dying. So yeah, and so once that happened, she was just homeless, and like she was just digging through food for garbage because she was still a little girl, and like she was just digging through the garbage for food, and then Shingen found her and brought her home and made her just so because like Mariko didn't even have any friends like when she was a little girl, so like she just brought Yukio just for Mariko. So yeah, and that was really cool. So yeah, and Yukio and Mariko definitely did have a lot of chemistry in this movie. So yeah, let me think. Yeah, Yukio. Yeah, she was really cool. Just like with her having visions of like seeing how people are gonna die. She even has visions on how Logan's gonna die too, and that was really emotional too. So yeah, she was a really cool character too. So yeah, and like her relationship with Shingen was really strong too. How like it's really easy for her to hate on Shingen, especially because like it's not even her real father. So yeah, and yeah, she just had a she was just really cool. So yeah. Let me think. Is there anyone else? And then Viper. Viper. This is where I get to my flaws with the movie. Viper was one of the villains of this movie, but like she wasn't really much of an impactful villain to this movie. Shingen was a lot more impactful than Viper was. Actually, a lot more. Actually, like Shingen should have been the main villain rather than Viper, because Viper was barely had any screen time, and she didn't even have any story arc at all. She was just there. She was just there just to be the main villain, but like she didn't really have much to do in this movie besides just poison people, and that's it. But like she had another thing too, but if I say that, it'll be a spoiler to the movie. So yeah. What was I saying? Yeah, just those two things were all she had, but all the scenes with her in action, her using her poison, were still really cool. But like, she was an okay villain, I guess. So yeah, she should have been a lot more impactful. So yeah, and yeah, but all the scenes with her and Logan were really emotional. All the scenes with her and Kenikio were really cool too. So yeah, let me think. What was I thinking? Oh yeah, Viper. Yeah, she wasn't really much of an impactful villain. And then we go to the Kenikio. He wasn't really the villain. He actually not at all. He wasn't the villain actually. He was actually protecting Logan and Mariko actually. Like whenever like they would get whenever like the people were after them, he was always in the roof to shoot arrows at them, and that was really cool. So yeah. So he would just shoot arrows at them, and all those scenes were just really cool. So yeah, and like he was just there to protect Logan and Mariko. So yeah, and he wasn't really the villain. He just wanted Mariko to come to him so they can get married. So yeah, because like he just really loves her. So yeah, and he was a really cool character too, and you can really tell how much he really loves Mariko. So yeah, and then he makes a really wise decision in the end with Mariko, and that was really cool. So yeah. And that scene really showed you how much he really cared for Mariko. So yeah, and let me think. Is there anything else I should say? So yeah, he was a really cool character. He was sort of a bit of a hero actually, and I actually really enjoyed him on screen. So yeah, he was just really a really cool villain. No, a really cool side hero. So yeah, he was just really cool. So yeah, and all the scenes with him were just really emotional and really enjoyable. So yeah, I really like Kenikio in this movie. And then we go to Shingen. Shingen was a really cool villain, actually. Like, he was a really cool villain. He wanted to, like, bring Mariko home and just, I think he was he gonna kill her? I think he was actually gonna kill her, actually. So, yeah, he was gonna kill her, but then, like, Kanikyo goes in there and saves her. So, yeah, yeah. Let me think. So like he wanted to kill her. So yeah, and he was a really cool villain. How he wanted to kill his own daughter. So yeah, and that was really emotional. How he wanted to kill his own daughter and take over the company. So yeah, he was actually a really cool villain actually, and all the scenes with him were really cool. And like him being in charge of all those Japanese men that are going after Logan were just really cool. So yeah, and like him and Logan even have such a really cool fight scene towards the end of the second act, and that was really cool. So yeah, I'll talk a bit more about that later on, but like that scene alone was just amazing. So yeah, I think that might be one of my favorite X-Men fights actually, right next to the Lady Deathstrike fight in X-Men 2. So yeah, that scene was just really cool, and Shingen was just a really cool villain, and it's just really cool how Hiroyuki Sonata is in a lot of blockbuster movies now. He's in a lot of blockbuster movies. Like last year, he was even in Avengers Endgame too. So yeah, it's really cool seeing him in more popular movies. So yeah, because back in the day, he wouldn't really be in popular movies. He'd just be in just unpopular movies, I would say. So yeah, but it's really cool seeing him be in blockbusters. So yeah. Let me think. Yeah, and he's a really good actor too. So yeah, let me think. Is there anyone else? And then there was this other person named Nuora. I don't know what his name was, but he was sort of a minor character, a little bit of a minor character, but he was just there to like tell Logan more about Mariko and Shingen. So yeah, but like he was okay for all the scenes he was in. So yeah, and I really like the scene where Logan is just punching him like whenever he's not telling him the truth, whenever he's not talking. So yeah, that scene was really cool. So yeah, and I love when he threw him down the window, like because like he was like, if you tell the truth, I won't kill you, but if I don't like it, I'll throw you down that window. And so he takes him. Once he tells him the truth, he's like, I told you the truth, and he's like, I didn't like it, and he throws him down the window. But then he lands on a pool, and then Yukio's like, how did you know there was a pool down there? And he was like, I didn't. So yeah, that scene was really cool. And I forgot to mention too that Logan in this movie actually does have some really cool line delivery, just like in the first 3 X-Men movies. He has so much good line delivery in this movie. Like all his line delivery is so badass. So yeah, he really had a lot of cool line delivery. So yeah. So the character of Nuora was okay, I guess. So yeah. And then Yoshida was a really cool character too. He was a really cool beat for the plot. Like he was more of like a plot beat, but yeah. Yeah, but he was really cool for that too. So yeah, Yoshida was a really cool character, and he definitely gave in a lot of emotion to the movie. So yeah, a really, really strong emotion to this movie. So yeah, he was a really cool character too. So yeah. Let me think. And then we get introduced to Silver Samurai in the end. And that was really cool too, actually. Silver Samurai getting adapted was really cool. And that fight scene was really cool. So, yeah. But Silver Samurai was just... All I'm going to say about him is that he's just a robot. Because if I go more in detail about him, it'll be a spoiler. So, yeah. But Silver Samurai was really cool. So, yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else? Yeah, all the actors in this movie all do such an amazing job. All the Japanese actors and even the American actors do such an amazing job. So, yeah, and Hugh Jackman still does such an amazing job as Wolverine. And from here, you can so tell that no one else could have pulled this role off. So, yeah. And all the actors do such an amazing job. So, yeah. And then we go to the soundtrack. The soundtrack was actually really cool in this movie, actually. The soundtrack was amazing, actually. I love all the music to this movie, actually. The music here is so beautiful. So, yeah, the music here was a perfect set of music for a movie like this. So, yeah. My favorite score in this movie was actually the scene when Mariko and Logan first fall in love, when they first kiss each other, and then they're sleeping together in the bed, and the song that plays in that scene was just beautiful. So yeah, the soundtrack was really beautiful in this movie. So yeah, let me think. This movie had a lot of comic relief in it too. Well, not so much, but all of it still really worked, because like most of the comic relief mostly came from Logan, and it all really worked. So yeah. Let me think. The pacing to this movie was really cool too. This movie's 2 hours and 20 minutes long, and it goes by pretty fast actually. So yeah, it actually does go by really fast. So yeah, let me think. James Mangold, he definitely had a really big heart with making this movie. You can so tell he had so much care with making this movie, and it was really cool seeing him direct the next Wolverine movie, Logan. So yeah, so yeah, he definitely had such a big heart with making this movie. He had such a clever vision with this movie. So yeah, and let me think. Yeah, and James Mangold, I did see his newest movie, Ford versus Ferrari, and that movie was actually really cool too. So yeah, so he definitely has a really unique voice with making movies too. So yeah, let me sing. All the action in this movie and the effects were done amazingly. Like nothing in here looks outdated. It looks nowadays, and it looks amazing. So yeah, the special effects in here just look so eye-popping, and they're just so badass. So yeah, just all the action is just so badass. So yeah, let me think. I don't think I have any flaws with this movie actually. Almost done. Five more minutes. I think another flaw I have with this movie is that the last act of this movie kind of gets a bit wonky. it kind of betrays what it was before. Actually, like the movie was really emotional and had a lot of really strong emotional beats to it, but the last act kind of betrays that in a way. So yeah, and they had this really silly stuff like Logan getting a cigar and exploding the car, and once it explodes, all the Japanese people die, and he's just smoking the cigar. Like once the explosion's done, and that scene was just really silly to me. So yeah, and it just became really silly. So yeah, and then like yeah, and then so a lot of stuff did happen really fast in the end. So that was another really big flaw I had with it. So yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else? So yeah, the last act definitely betrayed what the movie was before. So yeah, it could have ended a lot better actually. So yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say? But yeah, all the action sequences that went down there were actually still really cool in the last act. So yeah, the action sequences were still really cool. Like when he fought the Black Clan. That was actually really cool. Like all the when he would use his claws were actually really cool. So yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say? Let me try to think of another scene that I really like about this movie. Let me think. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, I like the scene where Mariko and Logan were staying in that love hotel, but then like these people like capture them, like no, they don't capture them, but they're trying to like kill them, but then Mariko defends herself and uses knives and actually saves Logan because he was actually kind of like hurting in that scene because like he was like really weak and they threw him down a building, and so he can't heal at all. So yeah, that scene was really cool too. So yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else? Yeah, I really liked all the scenes, all the scenes like when Mariko and Logan were hiding in the old house that Shingen would stay in. So yeah, but I love all those scenes that happened in there. Like all those scenes were beautifully directed and had a lot of beautiful themes. So yeah, all the scenes in there were really cool. So yeah. Yeah, just that whole sequence was actually what gave the movie a lot more emotion too. So yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say? Um, Let me think. Is there anything else I should talk about this movie? I think that's it actually. I think I covered everything actually. But so yeah, this movie was really dope. So yeah. To rate this movie, I really want to rate it an A plus. Actually, I really do. But the last act and Viper is what really drives this movie down for me. But I don't know. Should I rate this an A plus? Let me think. Cause like the last act really did drag for me actually. But let me think. Let me think. Is there anything else is like? I don't know. I'm really confused. Should I rate this an A plus? This movie had so much emotion in it and was really badass, but I don't know. Let me think. Um, the ending did definitely drag, and Viper was definitely not much of a good villain. But yeah, I think I'll rate this movie an A. Actually, just thinking, I'll rate it an A. Actually, I really want to rate it an A plus, but those two flaws are what really make this movie drag down a lot. So yeah, I'll rate this an A. Just a solid A. So yeah, that'll be the end of the review. So bye, and see you all in the next review.